Good morning, my gorgeous ladies, and welcome to Lingerie and Lattes. My name is Olivia Drumaga. I founded Vulcanability as a way for women to find their path in a monogamous relationship to a man, because it really felt like when I was growing up, there was pretty much no guidance for me. I used to read a lot of the Cosmos, and it always felt like they were pretty boring, and I would say standard suggestions on how to spice up your relationship and keep things really open and flowing between yourself and your partner. So, in today's subject, we have something that I've touched on before, and it actually went really well, resonated well with my audience. So, I wanted to kind of bring it up again today because we've just had International Women's Day on Friday, and we have this kind of theme coming up with the spring and renewal and this energy of coming back to life after the winter season. So a lot of the times we want to push ourselves in order to accomplish something. And naturally, that can go about helping us in actually achieving our goals in a more expedited manner. But I want to remind us here what the feminine is and how she likes to really take her time. If we think about the idea of a queen or of a person of a royal status, they really don't ever rush, have that sort of hectic energy. There's not really much of a frazzledness that many times I see women entering whenever they want to expedite their process. So why don't we unravel that a little bit? If we're thinking about being more or trying to do more, automatically you think that you just have to hit the pedal to the metal and make it go quicker. What I want to bring up though is that for a woman's essence, things actually flow more naturally when we go slower and we take more rest and we actually take the time to indulge and really sit with the energy of what we're processing, with whatever new changes come about our way. So, in order for us to actually go further in our days, we have to slow it down. And that's the kind of contradicting phenomenon that many women are simply not grasping, because a lot of times we want to push ourselves to do more and harness the energy that we're in, but we have to remind ourselves, if we're premenopause, what stage of the cycle are we in? Because a lot of the times when we're in our ovulation stage, we have more energy, there's a clearer mindset, and we have a little bit more of that masculine kick in us. But if we are, let's say, bleeding or releasing, or even I believe right after that stage, it's all a sense of going inward, of feeling a little bit detached from our surroundings or from other people and social gatherings. So we have to match up two different things. One, the energy of the earth and how it's actually moving. So right now in the northern hemisphere, we're going into a spring season. In the southern, they're going into a winter season. So noticing where you are in that sense, in an external world point of view, and then an internal point of view, where are you in your cycle? And if you're after, or if you're already in menopause, noticing again, is there any sort of fluctuations with that within your month on when you start to feel less energy, more energy, inspiration, and so forth? Because even when we are feeling inspired in the times of, let's say, the ovulation phase or the spring renewal that we're feeling right now around March in the Northern Hemisphere, how can we actually slow down in order to expedite our progress? How can we find ways to interject more relaxation in the day and, let's say, our mornings? Perhaps most of our mornings are jam-packed with things that we feel like we have to do. I know that this was a big one for me. I used to schedule, not even schedule, but simply have in my mindset that if I didn't have, let's say, my lemon hot water, my yoga time, my journaling time, my meditation time, and I think there was like a fourth or fifth thing that I threw in there, then my day couldn't really start in the best way that I wanted it to. And holding on to such a rigid idea of what puts us into a good day or puts us into a positive progressive day is actually perhaps a little bit more of a masculine outlook on the day. Having that sort of list or the schedule or that sort of structure is a lot more of a masculine energy. And some people do work well with that. But again, I just want to bring awareness to if you are behaving in this manner, where is your day asking for you to slow down? Where is your routine requiring you to take it easier? Is it perhaps when you drink your coffee? Perhaps that's a ritual you don't want to let go of. You really enjoy doing that, but most of the time the sips are really gulps and they're just kind of there as a booster to getting your work done. Perhaps you can still maintain the same experience of drinking your coffee every single morning and feeling like you want to uphold that. But now, as you're sipping your coffee, even if you have to get work done, just for those few seconds of the actual sip and allowing it to be swallowed in the throat, taking a moment to simply being with that experience. Again, this doesn't have to be setting aside time for an hour and a half to simply chill and do nothing on the couch. Sometimes it could be a really simple mindset shift into how can you stop and smell the roses is another way to look at it. So if we think about relaxation and what it means to really be in the flow of feminine self, there is not really one straight path. So the masculine is a lot more like a very straightforward, like a direct path towards getting something. Feminine is a lot more cyclical. So we have the spiral aspect of ourselves. If we're noticing where we are in a certain spiral, slowing down might feel counterintuitive. It might feel really scary, and it might feel like we're being lazy or allowing things to fall through the cracks. And again, this is a really big undoing of what we've been taught, especially as women, what we should be doing in our days or how we should be going about life, because most of those achievement oriented people are not really thinking about the feminine. They're not really thinking about what is appropriate for you to experience in order for you to actually have more growth. And if we think about it, let's like take a little philosophical perspective on this. If we want to get further in life, why is relaxation and slowing down a necessity? Well, if we have a certain goal in mind, if we've already achieved that goal, then we would be in a more relaxed state of mind. So we think, which is again why we have to use this practice of allowing ourselves to really cement in just existence and in that state of being, because that being is the feminine, right? The doing is the masculine, the action orientation is all the masculine energy. The feminine is all about thinking and feeling into something or having that sense of taking up space and time infinitely and not feeling like there's any sort of pressure being put on you. That's really a sense of a feminine. So taking these times to slow down, and even as I was speaking just now, I've decided to kind of take a conscious moment and think, can I speak in a slower manner? Can I drink my coffee in a slower manner? Is there anything that I can do in my daily day that I can really bring back the energy of a push of moving forward? So if we're thinking, let's say, about a nighttime routine, and let's say every night before bed, you decide to do a whole skincare routine, that's a wonderful idea. And also question whether you are present during this time of that skincare routine. Question yourself if there's more awareness and a slowdown of the thoughts that are coming through you when you're doing it. Are you thinking about the next thing, the next task you have to get through tomorrow versus being here, being in that moment and putting that cream onto your face? Is it possible to slow down the thoughts, connect to the actual act in itself, and feel into how it feels to have that cream being spread around the face? Maybe noticing if there's something different with your skin that haven't noticed before. Perhaps there's an additional softness. Perhaps there's a little bit of a roughness. All of these things go unnoticed when we're always in this state of hectic movement. And stillness is really something that we can use as a tool in order to tap into the feminine. And stillness for a lot of people means having a meditation, doing a meditation, experiencing quietness, or trying to listen to a guided meditation of some sort. While those can be helpful, I invite you to just check in and notice if you can go out for a walk and stand for a moment and simply close your eyes, listening to the rustling of the trees and the leaves, and noticing if you can hear some birds chirping, and having that be your stillness, even for a moment, can actually do much better, much more for you than doing a meditation for 15 to 20 minutes every single day. Because again, that almost becomes this duty. It almost becomes this next chore that's aligned to get you into your feminine. When really all we have to do in order to be our feminine is to slow down, is to take a moment and take a breather. It's to remind ourselves that time is not existent. It doesn't have to be out there, it doesn't have to be in the future. It can really just all be happening in this moment. And when we are in this moment, remind ourselves that everything is flowing to us. So the feminine is also the receiver, which is why having too much of that masculine energy of going and getting it and conquering something may not be beneficial for us right now. Taking a back seat and sitting on your throne as other people come to bring you gifts, that's the kind of energy we want to embody in more of our days and more of our lifetime, because that sort of energy trains our nervous system to remain calm and collected, so that when danger or stressful situations do come up, we're not already working with this level and then more stress gets added on top of that. Now, let's say our normal balance goes down to here, and then there's stress factors coming in, and maybe now we're at here, but still, this level is better than this level. So please take a moment to simply recognize how you can slow down in your day, slow down with your thoughts, with yourself, find some stillness, and start recognizing that this sense of rest is really crucial for our manifestation process and for being in touch with the feminine. And as a little treat, I've decided to do an oracle pull for today's this episode of Lingerie and Lattes. So just give me a moment to tap into the energy of the audience and see what we have to really listen to today. If you do not know, please subscribe to my Vulcanability newsletter, as I'll be sending out more articles coming up soon, and the launch of a beautiful lingerie line that me and a good friend of mine have started called Lady Hecate. I will be adding the links below. And please notice how you can start dressing yourself more as a goddess and more as a woman who is a divine being versus simply um, a person in the matrix, in the world as it is. So we've got Love's Secret, which is actually one of my favorite cards. I've received this one actually many times. And the message of it is truly to know what love is. It's about falling into the vision of love and reminding ourselves to write down a secret that we know about love. And this could be entirely personal to you. It doesn't have to be a fact, it doesn't have to be something you go out and research, but taking a piece of paper or opening up your journal and asking yourself, what is something that I know about love? What is a secret of love? And just writing out that secret, noticing how it plays into your life, and honoring what it feels to be loved and how much it feels, how much beauty comes through when we do feel loved for one another. Thank you so much, my gorgeous ladies, and I will speak with you all next week.